Hello. 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 What you gotta say to me in pottery? Go, here we go. What you gotta say? What you gotta be? Don't even know. Don't even know. Okay. Alright. Green on. Good morning, chili dogs. We're back again today. We got 3 more pots coming at you. What you focus on grows. Feed them horses. Green off. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 ka dun ka dun. Alright. Camera C. Alright. We got this right here. Today's gonna be a little bit weird, so I think I'm gonna record for half the day and then I'm gonna make a bop, yo. Right? Oh my god. A bit of water on this head too. Alright, so I gotta wipe my hands quick. Alright, but we got 3 more pots coming at you guys. I gotta turn this down just a little bit because I think it's gonna be interfering with the microphone. But maybe that's okay. I feel like it's so loud for you guys though. Hold on. Chill, dude. Chill. Well, I haven't even started throwing yet. So that's so funny. Alright. Camera B. Bam, bam, bam. Right down to the bottom and bring that up. Alright, one more. Right down to the bottom one more time. Hey, chill. You ready to transition? Add some water. Down to the bottom. Curl that up. Let me go one more. Hammer fist right over top. One more. Push it down. Pull that right out to your, right across your thumb, and there you go, centered, right? All right, camera C. Camera C. There we go. Open up that. Check if there's any rabbits in there. No rabbits, okay. Pull this back. No air bubbles either. It's feeling pretty good. Smooth out that bottom just a little bit at a time. You don't want to do too much, right? And make sure you don't fold over the clay when you're doing this. Alright. Hold that around. Alright. Camera B. Right, like a finger dude running. Alright, get right down to the bottom. Grab your knuckle, right? The first pull, it's not really about getting height, it's about evening out those walls. Find that little bump, maintain it, and take that up, right? You probably got one more knuckle pull on that bottom before we start looking for the bump, right? Okay, one more. Knuckle right to the bottom. Alright, now the walls are pretty even. We're a slight taper right to the top there, but that's perfect. That's exactly what we want, right? So here we go. We're going to find this bump. We say, hey, Clay, you got a quest for us? And the Clay says, oh, yeah, we do, bro. Go right down to the bottom of the pot. And try to find this little bump that the Clay's going to gift us. The Clay gifts us this little bump, right? That's all we do. You know, they call this a pull, but it's more of a lift, right? And I always imagine it's like a slug. He's just on his way up a tree trying to find his next meal. And this pull is all about height, so try to maximize that height. I won't even worry about if it starts getting a little bit wobbly. Right, we're just trying to maximize height there, right? Okay. Go right down to the bottom. Get some of that water out, right? Usually we got a little bit of a swimming pool on the inside there. All right, right down to the bottom edge here. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Look at that. See if it's all pretty even. Looks pretty even there. So we're gonna start with a little bump this out on the top here. Very slowly. Find the bump on the top and watch that just want to twist right in. I start raising my fingers up ever so slightly, very slowly. Create that little, almost like a blossom on the top there. There we go, we're done. I'm gonna start pushing this bottom skirt down, right? And a lot of people, they'd say like, oh, that's that extra thickness, I'm trying to get that off, right? Well, I'll tell you, when I'm throwing, I throw that bottom so paper thin because I don't even wire off the pots. I let them dry enough and they just come right off, right? And so that's kind of my goal, is try to minimize the amount of clay on that bottom so then I can keep this, right? This little skirt on the bottom edge here. And this is where I feel like it's loaded with potential for what you can do here, right? So here we're gonna go. I'm gonna grab my little pinky. I'm gonna pull this up. Just a little bit, right? All right. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, we're gonna get a triple here. Skip. Skip. Oh, triple pedal. Look at that, dude. So when it's even, you can go pedals. When it's odd numbers, you have to try something else. Usually I just exaggerate them. But there's number 1. All right, camera C. Camera C. Oh, it's already dead? Literally, what the heck? That's so annoying. Wow. Whatever. Alright. Camera A. Where's that? Where's my off button? Alright, then I'm gonna go over to wedging table. Wedging table. So you can see the one over there. I got another ball of clay. I'm gonna grab this one right here. Maybe on this side. I feel like we could turn it up just a little bit, maybe. I don't think my neighbors are home, so I think I can kind of jam just a little bit more than what I am. Alright. Alright, wheel. Wheel. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm really trying to get this as close to center as possible before I even start throwing. And I take that little bead of water, seal that edge, and so now I can push on it as hard as I want. It's not going to come off, right? And usually, you should be able to try to center with one hand, right? Like it's all usually what this hand is doing here is a majority of it, right? And so that's all this other hand is it's blocking that hand, so then it projects that upwards, right? And so watch. So once that hand's there, you can see how now it just wants to be projected upwards. I just want to make sure it doesn't volcano in that middle there, so I'm going to bring that down a little bit. I'm going to bring that back up. There we go. Right? And so it's all about where you're placing your hands, you know? It's not really about the strength that you're using. Add some water. Transition. Right down. Make sure you don't fold that bottom edge. That's danger zone. So you gotta make sure the clay fills in. It doesn't overlap there, right? Bring this back up. Down a little bit. Grab that hammer fist. Push this down. Right down to the side here. I got a little bit of a clay here, so I'm going to take up that little chunk of clay right around that rim. Alright. Camera B. I have my hand on this third over here. This hand right here is on a third of the clay. It's pushing against the clay that's coming into it. It's not pushing through the middle, right? Right down to the bottom again. Open this up. Add some water. You can't have the tadpoles dry out in the pond there, right? And we got to check the hole. Any rabbits in there? No? Alright, we're cruising. Right? And you want to use your captain hook, right? You got to use that captain hook. I'm hook and cut across that bottom. I do not pull, right? Imagine it's 3 layers of a cake. I'm not pulling all 3 layers of that cake. I'm pulling that bottom layer. And so it just cuts right through that layer, and then it just wants to move, right? When the clay feels like butter, that's when you know you're doing something right, I feel, right? Think like your finger is a water jet cutter. Round this edge off, okay? You're ready. You're gonna pull this up. Interesting. You've been a glass blower for 10 years. I love seeing people that are passionate about their craft. I don't know if I'm passionate about ceramics. I really hate ceramics, but it gives me a lot of value. And so since it gives me value, I try to maintain the discipline to keep attacking it, right? That's kind of my mindset. What the heck? I have a chunk of hair on me here. Maybe that's in the clay, I don't know. And so there's an uneven chunk right in this middle part here, so I gotta be careful. That's gonna come up later. So when I go start doing the poles, I gotta make sure I don't go too thin there. Oh gosh, I feel like that's gonna be loud. So I push this down. I find this little bump, and I'm not gonna do a crazy bump at first. I'm just gonna do a little bit of one. Right, and so that's not a really crazy bump, but you can see how much height we get out just that little chunk of that bump there, right? Alright, do we got one more? I feel like we got one more pull, but I'm gonna collar this in just a tad. And this hair is getting in the way here. I hate when my hair gets in the way. Collar this in quick. Dang. I feel like I shouldn't go much taller, but so don't even worry when it's falling like that on the bottom. Just slow and consistent all the way through the top there. Ooh. Oh, it's definitely gonna fall. So what should we do, guys? I think what I'll do is I'll still try to get the little tandem. So I'm gonna push through that little edge there. I'll try to see if I can get something out of this, right? No, come on. This might be a wipe. Right down on the top here. This is a lot of tears and rips. Do we like? Alright, let me see the tendrils on it and then I'll do it. What's a movie you wish you could watch for the first time again? Probably a movie called Good Will Hunting. I feel like that movie is just next level. I feel like I still watch that and I cry every time I see it. But we'll see, we'll keep with this for a second. We'll see how the tendrils look on this one. But I feel like this one, that's a wrinkly old man tree. Yeah, I feel like the top I went too thin, so I did I collapsed too much on that beginning. But it's still up, and I think there's something that's really interesting happening on that top that I usually don't get that type of voice on that top. So I feel like it's right on the edge of me wanting to destroy it. So we'll see how it looks like with the tendrils, and then we'll give it a final decision, you know? But yeah, Tyler Stone, man, probably Good Will Hunting. That movie is just so good. Do we want tendrils? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll keep this one. I think there's actually some good vibes in this pot. And I think I was gonna do the long tendrils, but then like I thought about it, and if I have too much happening in this middle spot, it's not gonna let that top kind of breathe and have its little moment there. So I think that's kind of my idea for this one, is I kind of want to let it be its thing. What's one thing you hate about pottery in the beginning but eventually began to appreciate? I mean, I still hate pottery. I think I think at the beginning I really sucked at throwing, and so I'd try to mask all my forms with like sculptural elements, because I realized, oh well, if I make a face and the face looks good, it doesn't matter what the pot feels like or looks like, right? Because I set a face on it, so now nobody can tell me it's bad because I made it into like an art object, right? And so I was hiding the fact that my pots were really shitty. And I think that one time I just had this idea that I had a conversation with myself, and I was like, all right, I gotta stop lying to myself here. And so then I just began only throwing. I gave up my drawing, I gave up all my sculptural elements too on my pots, and I just started throwing. So I hated every part of the process, but I feel like I can appreciate the throwing part. I don't like glazing still. Trimming, I never trim anything now, only for like demos for my classes. But yeah, that's kind of my thing. Probably just the throwing is what I began to appreciate. Keep it, the spiral is neat and tight. Yeah, you know, I do kind of think the spiral is kind of neat on the bottom. I'll keep it. It's already over there, so it's already kept. All right, right down to the bottom. I pull this up. All right, one more. Slow on this bottom base. Push that in. Speed up as you go taller here. Just that slight tilt, there's nothing underneath it, so the clay is really going to want to glide. I don't trust people that truly enjoy glazing, right? That's so funny. Yeah. Or like carving into your objects. I don't know. That stuff is like, I feel like it has the... Wait a second. No! Don't fall! Y'all couldn't see it, but this one was trying to fall. Okay, we'll let that go. Dang, that was so funny. Learning to throw pots. How long have you been making these tree shapes? Probably coming in on 300 days in a row now. I mean, I started last July, maybe like 14th. I've been making 3 of them every day since last July. So I record every one, post them online. Oh, you know, I think I've been seeing your videos quite a bit too. You've been posting a lot too. All right, thumbs going down. What is a technique about pottery that isn't talked about? Oh, I watched the Shino and the Old Man cool documentary. Right? That documentary is freaking crazy. If y'all have not seen that documentary, go watch Shino and the Old Man documentary. I love that. That documentary had me making Shino pots for like a couple months only, just because that documentary is so awesome. One technique about pottery that isn't talked about. I feel like the S curve and the bump when you're pulling a wall isn't talked about enough. Like, I see a lot of people and they use their hand as a profile tool, right, to push up against the profile, right? But then what happens is usually people, you know, when they open up the pot or center, and right now this pot isn't really on center. You can see it's a slight tilt, right? So if I was to push this up against a profile, the tops would be really uneven, right? Because one side's a little bit thicker. And so if you maintain that little S-curve bump, right, you can make pots that are uncentered on-centered, and then you can make it so they have really nice even tops too. So I'm gonna grab my little llama. Llama's gonna bite on that rim. I'm gonna slowly bring this up. Oh, all right, here we go. Grabbing that knuckle. Alright, knuckle right on the bottom edge here. The rim's a little bit thin, right? And so that's all I'm doing here is I'm just trying to even out those walls. I'm not trying to get too much height. First, I'm trying to even out the walls, and then I go for height afterwards, okay? So again, knuckle right on this bottom edge. I push this in very slowly. Ooh, I'm getting a little bit thin on that bottom edge. Alright, so this is going to be a tough thing here. What piece of pottery equipment do you want custom made? Dang, you're asking a lot of questions. What piece of pottery equipment do you want custom made? I made a bunch of boxes. I feel like boxes. Like, I feel like a lot of times when you view pots, you view them on pedestals. And I think pottery people and sculpture people in general, they don't think enough about the display when they're displaying their work, right? And so for me, I think that's like one thing I love to custom make is my own shelves to display my pottery, right? But you can see I maintain this little bump and I lift, right? People call it a pole. I hate when I call it a pole, to be honest, because pole has like a yanking insinuated to it, and so I just think that like pole is not a good word, right? A lift, you know, you lift a baby bird up into the sky as it flies away, right? And so, but yeah, I like to make custom like pottery. Do Skibbity Toilet ASMR, please. That's so funny. I feel like that's a new Zoomer thing. I was thinking about that yesterday because I keep watching this like viral videos that are all about like parents saying like some Skibbity Toilet Riz thing. I'm just like, bro, y'all are so funny. Like I was like thinking about how could I like riffed off that. But one day I'll figure it out, Jaden. One day I'll do something with that. Could you imagine? I just have like some wacky memes fly across the screen as people are commenting. I feel like it'd be kind of lit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh. Alright, so it's a low twist. So let's just kind of make this even here and see if we can get something cool. Okay.
I warned our people, if you don't get your act together, there will be blood in the street.
This one's weird. We'll keep it though. If you could get a pottery professional to be your mentor, who would you want? Nobody. I feel like I would be so annoyed if somebody was sitting here telling me what to do. I feel like a lot of people who are going to be a mentor or teach pottery are like all descendants from potters from like the past 500 years or something, right? And so I think a lot of people are stuck in this idea of what pottery is, and they think the wheel is just this freaking like gear for this giant machine of this pottery language or vernacular, right? And so I feel like that's kind of a more like Eastern art tradition, right? Like you aren't really the individual, you're more of like this gear that prolongs this machine or this idea, right? Where I think I'm like hyper on the individual scale, right? Like for me, I think you gotta like embrace your ego. A lot of people say like you gotta destroy your ego. No, dude. Like you gotta totally lay into your ego. Like you need to be oversaturated with your ego. But the thing with ego is you just can't let it, you know, get in the way of you interacting with people, right? Like you need to like have the biggest ego, but you can't have it infect your conversations with others, right? But when you're in your head, when you're with yourself 24/7, right? You can't be having, you know, this looks like it's gonna fall maybe. Here. You're with your mind, when you go to sleep, you wake up, you dream with it, everything with your mind. So if your mind isn't solid, you're done. So I feel like you gotta really train your ego so when shit goes down, you can handle that stuff, right? And so that's what I think pottery is for me. It's all about kind of training my ego. Like it's a thing that I didn't really like at the beginning, right? And I told myself, okay, no more giving up. This is the thing that you're gonna be doing now for the rest of your life. And so for me, it's all about, like I was saying this yesterday, it's never about like what I'm doing or what you do. It's about what the things that you do does for your mentality. And so that's kind of my thinking on it. I think that idea is like really popular in like gym culture and stuff, but obviously I'm not in the gym. But I think like artists, I don't even consider myself an artist. I think makers can like tap into some of that energy that different groups of people have sort of discovered. What do you want to change about pottery culture? I don't even know. Let me think about that for a second. Sigma trees, no cap. Big-headed new generation. Big-headed tree. This is so funny. Don't consider it giving up. Be proud. No, I kind of mean like I gave up on like when I first started, like I wanted to be an animator. I wanted to do animation for video games, and I totally just let those dreams die because I wasn't confident enough in my abilities, right? And so there's all these moments in my life where I would instantly just give up at the first inkling of adversity, right? And then, all right, hold on. Camera A. So I'd give up on the first inkling of adversity, right? And so then I feel like I used to do a lot of drawing too. Like I finished one big charcoal drawing piece, and then all of a sudden I was just really unsatisfied, and I called my dad, and he sent me a song, No Woman No Cry by Bob Marley, and I was like, all right, like I'm giving up on this shit. And so I never never did drawing again, like charcoal drawings. And then I picked up pottery, and I was just like, all right, well, this is it. Like, I'm not going to give myself any more opportunities to give up anymore. So that's kind of what I mean by giving up, right? It's like I pushed a snowball down a hill, and I'm just like continuing to let it get larger and larger. But I kind of like the idea of big-headed new generation tree. That's so funny. Weird, me too. Yeah. I feel like everybody kind of goes through those moments. What would you want to change about the pottery culture? Oh yeah. Definitive answers. Oh my god. All right, hold on. Pottery shelf. Yeah, I think one thing I would want to change about that is definitive answers. People are always like, air bubbles equal explosions in kilns. Boom, you know? Like, oh, crawling equals this, pinholes equals this, everything equals something, right? It's so, like, people think in binary opposition so much in ceramics, and I just think that it's just wrong, you know? You gotta be a lot more open-minded. There's so many small, like, things that are reasons why something could have gone wrong. If you claim that you know all those reasons, I kind of think you're capping. And so I think that it's more important to just, like, be open-minded to all sorts of different things and reasons why things are the way they are. I think people really get like bogged down into stuff, you know, bogged down into like lines of thinking. So that's what I'd change about pottery culture. Altric says hello and good morning. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. You're really gonna say you're never gonna do charcoal ever again? Yeah, never again. I'm done with that charcoal. I really liked it though. As much as I'm covered in clay, I was covered in charcoal before. I went to school for animation. Yeah. I feel like it's just so epic. I wish I would kind of took it more seriously. Bottom left is my favorite. So bottom. Yeah, you like bottom left? Okay, hold on. Let me get over there. And let me do my little review. Alright. Alright. Green on. Alright. Here we are. We're going to start over here with this one right here. Somebody said in the comments that this is like big-headed tree or Sigma big-headed tree or something. I thought that was so funny. I think a lot of the trees kind of have a smaller top to them, so I kind of like the idea of like this tree has a lot of ego. It's big-headed, you know? Like I thought that was really funny, so I appreciate that comment quite a bit. It looks like it's wanting to tip over. Oh gosh, it's got to chill out, dude. Alright, anyway, we'll go over to this one. This one's probably the most even one of the day. I think this one is just like very, what is it called? Uniform, right? Very utilitarian looking spirals. It looks like it was like machine milled or something, right? And so I kind of like that one for that reason. But I think the one on the top, this is the one I was really on the fence about. I didn't know if I wanted to keep it, but the top has this like really interesting wrinkle. I went a little bit too tall and too thin on the top, so it actually did a, you know when you go too thin and you're spinning too fast and you put too much tension on it, and so it really wants to like wobble quite a bit. So it's wobbling on the top and then did a tri-collapse, right? I'm sure people who throw, you kind of know what I'm talking about. When you're throwing, it gets too thin and it collapses in 3 uniform areas. And so that happened. I was like, oh gosh. Well, you know, I pushed my hand through that little fold that happened, and I still finished off the tree and the twist. And I actually think it turned out okay. It's acceptable. So those are the pots for today. Thank you so much for watching. All the best and strong mentality. Somebody asked, what's my dream pottery piece to make? Wow. I hope that I never make it. That's what I hope. Do I, like, for me, I think what would make me, like, the most excited is if I'm never satisfied with one piece that I make for the rest of my life. I feel like a lot of people, you know, they're halted by the starting something, and then they're blinded by the finish line, right? For me, I'd love to just be like stuck in that middle phase of just cruising, you know, and then I look back and then all of a sudden I'm like 80 years old, right? And so I think that that's kind of more what I want, you know. I feel like once you make that one piece, you know, like that definitive, that's the one, you know, that's the dream pot, right? All the motivation just gets sucked out of you, right? You can't, like, when you're motivated about things, motivation's like, you know, like waves. It comes and it goes, right? But if you become like really disciplined about something, I think that's where I want to be, right? Oh, wait, hold on, I gotta turn this off. Green off. Green off. Alright. Wedging table. Alright, I gotta turn this down just a little. So you guys are actually, it's gonna be kind of fun. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm actually just gonna keep on throwing. I gotta make a bunch of cups for all my students, so I'm gonna make like, I don't know, like 20 something cups. Wedging table. There we go, that's a little bit better. I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick. Way back in one moment. Well, I guess it is. How old are my students? I teach all ages of people, so from like 8 years old is probably the youngest to like maybe 70 something's the oldest, maybe older, and every age in between. I teach at like 4 different like art center places, so I get to see lots of different varieties of people, a lot of different age groups, so it's pretty interesting. Huh. Now I gotta change the music. Oh yeah, I want to stop recording, but I want to keep streaming. I hope that works. Does that work? Yeah, I think that works okay. Alright. I'm gonna cut this up. So this is like a true porcelain, and I'm gonna be getting like dark clay all over it. So if you really like porcelain, I apologize, I'm about to like totally impurify it. This is just some clay that somebody gave me a while ago, and I've just decided that it's just, I hate throwing with porcelain for my trees. It's too soft. It doesn't have any like, you know, power against me, you know? I feel like porcelain's for like waterbender types, where stoneware's for like earthbenders, you know? So, but if you're making small stuff, I feel like I don't really mind working with like porcelain for small stuff. Come on, get this off here. I should just cut this up. It's not even cutting all the way through. This is so annoying. Okay. And for these cups, I'm probably making them about like, you know, a pound and something maybe. You know, maybe a little bit under a pound. They're not gonna be big, but I gotta make like 20 something more of them. So I can, at the end of all my classes, I give my students, that's a little bit less than a pound, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to work with these a little bit. It's whatever. You haven't touched porcelain yet? Yeah, I wouldn't. I think porcelain is like oh yeah, somebody asked like what's like one trend of pottery that I wish or didn't exist or something earlier. Porcelain, people loving porcelain. There's such like a fetishization over like working with porcelain where it's like literally I think it's kind of like bogus. But that's my opinion. People really like it, and they're firm believers in porcelain. But I think sometimes like porcelain it looks sterile. It looks modern. It looks like it's like minimalist contemporary vibes. Where it's like I feel like everything I can go to like Starbucks and get a cup that has that sort of aesthetic, right? I feel like stoneware has that earthiness to it. It has that life that's like baked into just the clay itself, where I think porcelain's kind of stripped of that sometimes. Maybe a little bit more clay on this one. That's a little bit too much actually. So we're just gonna make all these clay balls, right? You don't really need to wedge all of them, but this clay is a little bit hard on the surface, so I just want to wedge it so I don't have to deal with like this weird awkward clumpiness that can happen. Did I measure any of these out either? No, I kind of just like guess and get close. And I'll have a little bit of variety in between them. You know, again, I'm not trying to, it's not like I'm selling these things. I'm just giving them away to my students. Okay. A little bit too much. Let's set that over there. Time is it, by the way? 3. I got work at 6:30. I have to edit still. I got time. It'll probably take me an hour and a half to throw all these. How many balls of clay do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15. This is 16. I might take off my headset and turn off my microphone as I throw, just because I'm only used to having my headset, this head rig, on for like 40 minutes tops, and I don't really want to continue having this on, to be honest. And so it just might be me music. Alright. Well, I could turn on my small chest microphone, so maybe that will work better. We'll do that. If people want to talk to me at least. Alright. Let's start. I'll take my headset off though. Headset. Oh man. I feel like I'm a new human being. So I think you guys can hear me. It's gonna sound loud for a second, sorry. I think this is good. That's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this battery off here.
Let me take this out. The water. And my wire tool, I need that as well. I need my crown. Why do I wear a crown? Just because I gotta turn off this. Because the crown keeps the hair out of my face. Now let's see how we do with this stuff here. Camera B, down the middle, this up. Little spiral on the inside. Bring this up. Grab your sponge. Right down to this bottom edge. One. A bit of water. Right down to this bottom edge again. Use your 1 rib tool here, the best tool. And right down to the bottom, I just bring this up. Smooth out the top. Grab my little plastic knife here. Right down to this bottom edge. I'm gonna cut in and taper just a little bit because I'm not trimming these pots, right? So I wanna make sure I get them as close to done as possible. So then, I don't have to do too much stuff to them afterwards. Back over here. Dry the hands. Just pick this up, right? And there's one. Okay. Get over to number 2. Down. This down. Open this up. For the first time. A little water on this inside here. Actually went a little bit too out. wooden tool, right down to the side here. Alright. It's a little bit thin on that bottom edge, so I gotta be careful. This down to the side here. Dry your hands. I'll just pick this up. Number 2. I wonder if I should probably zoom this in or something. You know, maybe I should make a copy. Here, let me do that quick. I feel like that would be probably better for you guys' like visual seeing what I'm doing. So I'm gonna make a copy. How do I copy this? Copy, paste. No. Oh wait, hold on. I wanted to do the opposite. Minimize that. So does this work for you guys? And then we gotta get a better I feel like this looks still a little bit blurry, huh? I feel like that's the best we can get here. Smooth out this bottom just a little bit. A little spiral on the inside. Open this up. Ready to pull this. Okay, got one more. Push this in a little bit. Alright, cut this bottom right off. Dry off your hands. Get ready to twist this right off. Pick that up. Put it over here. Spiral on the inside there. Gonna pull this up. Right down to the bottom. Get ready. One more pop. One more pop. One more pull. Down to this bottom edge, cut this off. This, and then remove, pull through, great, pick that up, alright, push this down. This up. Call your thumb in. Spiral on the bottom. Lumber pole. Grab a sponge on the bottom. Right to the bottom edge. Pull this up just a little bit. Head back down a little bit more. Another pull. Find that little bump. Lift that bump up. Grab your wooden rib tool. Push this down. Carve that up. Oh, got a weird chatter on that bottom edge there. So push this in. Get rid of all that clay on the outside there. Use a little cut through that bottom edge. I feel like there's got to be an easier way to do that. I feel like I'm not skilled enough at that yet. Down to the bottom, slice through, around your hands. On whatever you can get your dry part of your body, you can get your hands on. Push down. Alright, here you go. Push through this bottom. The spiral. Pull that up. Finger in the corner, a little bit of water. Okay, we got one more pull, a little bit of water. Oh, hit that rim. Okay. Maybe a wire. Get to the bottom here.
This is the home of massive dance records, classic pop music, good times, and people staying up long after their bedtime.
Hammer fist around top. Pull it back. Open this up. Thumb right to the side here. Open that out. Smooth out the bottom just a little bit. Rotation, great. Get down to the bottom and pull this up. Round out that top. Get rid of pull. Finger right underneath to find the bump. Pull that up. Okay, we got one more. A little bit of water right on the bottom there. Finger right on this edge. Okay. One tool. Over on the inside here. Use that bottom of that tool to define that little bump there. Just take that up. Take that off. Turn this bottom edge. Cut that underneath there with this tool. Work that all the way. And why are we doing all this? Is because we're not trimming these pots, right? Not trimming these. So I want to make sure they're as done as possible before we even get them off the wheel. Dry hands. Any surface that's dry. Usually it's somewhere on your pants. Usually my quads get full of clay first, and then kind of the sides of my hips, and then after that, maybe my knees, right? And then my calves, and then the back of my calves, and then very last is the hamstrings. Water on the inside. Thumb pulling right across the side here. Right down to the bottom. Try to get as much of that clay off that bottom edge. Hey, chill. Push a little bit too hard. It's really thin on the bottom, and why is it so thin? Is because we don't want to trim these things, right? So we're trying to get rid of that, right? Somebody said something in a language I don't understand, but thank you for commenting. I appreciate it. Push this down. We're up. We're down. We're up. We're down. Great to activate your hammer fist. Hammer fist is down and out. Great. Thumbs in. Thumb curl. Pull that out all the way to the edge. You want about a sponge worth of opening there. Go right to the side here. Slow down. Add your spiral. Hold that side. Llama, pull this up. Grab your sponge. Put a water on this edge. Right to the bottom. Oh. First pull. Get some height, right? Second pull, you want to finish this off. Curl right underneath those fingers to find that bump. It should feel like it's wanting to fall, right? That's when you know it's thin enough. And you're going to take your little wooden knife tool right down to this bottom edge. Great. Take that off. Grab your wooden knife tool. Right down to the bottom, open this. Cut through that bottom. Again, find somewhere dry on your pants. There we go. And just lift it up. Push this up. Down on the bottom, open this up. Ready to curl your thumb out to the side. Smooth out that base. Slow it down. Add your wheel. A little spinny swirl in the middle. Pull this up. Get right down to the bottom. A little bit of water. I can hear my stomach growling at me. Oh my gosh. It looks like I'm hungry. Dun, 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 dun. Alright, here we go. A little wooden rib. Rib goes right down this side. Great. Right down to this bottom edge. Trying to just thin that bottom out as much as we can because we're not trimming these, right? Oh. Ah, thanks, Nolan. I hope you're doing well, dude. Really. Thank you for stopping in, bro. Kind of had a chunk that came out here, but that's okay. Not too worried about that. Right through the bottom, open this up. But thank you, Nolan, really. I hope you're doing well, brother. Hold this up, pick that up, set that right over here. We got another one. We gotta add some more water too, so. Bit of a water bucket right in front there. Okay. Down this bottom edge, pull this up. Center that clay. Open this up. Thumb pulling out. Okay, great. Smooth out that bottom. Add your little swirl. Ready to pull that first pole up there. Llama pole. Grab a little bit of water. Right down to this bottom edge. Pull that up, right? Alright, you got one more pull out of this, right? Right down to the bottom. Grab your wooden rib. There we go. All right, we just gotta get a little bit more of this clay off here. Okay. Grab your wire tool, right through the bottom. Find a dry place for your hands. Maybe on your shirt a little bit. Lift this up. There you go. Right up. Right down. It's all about how you use your chicken wing, right? I call this part of your hand, that's the chicken wing right there, right? Pull this out to the side. Open this up. Right down to the bottom. Thumb's coming out. Pull this out, right? I smooth this. Add your little swirl. Right to the bottom and pull this up just a little bit. A little bit of water. Grab your little wooden rib tool. Right to the bottom edge, cut off all that extra. That off. Cut off all this extra clay down here. Sponge. Sponge smooths out that bottom edge. Okay. Get ready. Wire that off the bottom. Dry your hands a little bit. Just enough for it to get a little tacky. Sticks right on your fingers. We'll pull that out over here. Down this bottom edge. Right down. And curl that up. Thumb in, thumb pulls out. There's that side there, great. Smooth that bottom edge out. Nice. Okay, finger. Open. First pull. Done. Okay, a little bit of water on the inside. Second pull. Alright, here we go. Third pull. Have your little wooden rib tool. Cut this edge off. Okay. Wire tool. Cut that off. Dry your hands. Run to the hamstrings now. That's where the dry spot on my pants are. Somebody said, what am I making these for? Shake and bake. I'm making these for all my students. So after my class, the spring semester is almost over, right? And so as a way to show appreciation to my students, like I make little cups for them, and then I have some little like stamps that I 3D printed for the spring. And so I'm gonna stamp those on once these get dry enough. So I just try to make them as quick as I can, just because they're more of a memento rather than a functional object, right? Even though they're cups, right? Right to the edge. That's why I'm taking a lot of time to address that thickness on that bottom usually, just because I'm not going to be trimming these. So I'm trying to save some time and make them so they're still kind of nice. Obviously, like I said, they don't need to be perfect. So first pull. Okay, we got one more pull. A little bit of water on the inside. Okay, this one's a little bit taller than the other one, so I went a little bit too narrow. So that's something I gotta make sure I don't do in the next ones. This is the most narrow one. Cut off that clay on the bottom. And slowly trim off all that water, that slip right on that surface. Great. Pull that out to the side there. Grab your little wooden knife tool, right to the bottom edge. Cut off any leftover thickness there. Get the stuff off this bottom. There you go. Clean this up just a little bit more. Get your sponge right underneath. Grab your wire. Cut that off. Find a dry spot on your pants. Wipe off all the clay from your hands and lift that up. All right. Got another one here. Get down the bottom edge. Pull that up. Now push this down. Pull it up. Push it down. Grab your hammer fist. Hammer fist right on top. Slowly bring this out to the edge here. Open this up. Thumb curls right underneath. Pull that out to the edge. Great. Smooth this out. Add your little spirals. First pull, bring this up. Okay. Second pull. All right, one more pull. Down to the side here. Oh wait, no. I gotta use this. Gotta grab your wooden tool. And then get all this wet stuff off the side of your cup. Set that over there. Then you grab this tool. Get off your hands wherever you have a spot. Take this up. Set it over here. How many are we at? We are at 15 right now. How many more do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have 9 more. All right, let's keep cruising. I'll be done with this before 5. It gives me an hour to edit and post. That should be enough time. out the bottom. A bit wider on this exterior. Add your spiral. Right down. Pull this up. A little bit of water. First pull. And pull. Dry your hands. Lift this up. So I gotta start moving these a little bit over because I'm starting to lose space. Just down. Ready? In the middle. Smooth out this base just a little bit. Right onto the edge here. Get ready for your spiral. Pull this up. Grab your sponge. Get your hair out of here, or not, whatever. How's this? I feel like I can't even get the hair out of here. Whatever. So there's this small notch in this top that I gotta kind of figure out. Look at this clay though. There we go. Jesus. I'm gonna blame that on the hair there. I literally hate when my hair gets in the clay.
Got a link in bro, met her at the ballroom. Should be a 10 if it weren't for the accent. If you're wondering what's the attraction, babes been pounding short on the mad thing. I'm a simple man, I'm a London boy, drink any and mix with cola. Day off, cause I'm not sober, just cool. Roll out, what's the vibe, what's the agenda? Been high since like November. Like my thing's nice and slender. So that we met, I don't quite remember. I don't remember what's the agenda. Been high since like November. Like my thing's nice and slender. So that we met, I don't quite remember. I don't remember. Got me a belly in
pissed, I'm not trying to lose like that. Got Nina, she a speaker. Is it me or these 100 racks? Should've seen what I paid in tax. I'm back on track, we clean the cash.
Hey, yo, Spence, which one over there do you want to take back?
That one with the dress and shoes on. Oh, you best come with Hayden, left like boots on. And I don't rock with you, 3 stripes, I can't put boots on. All this space, you can get lost in the dust like Elon. Still no tracks been signed to a label. A million streams in a year, I'm grateful. This girl wanted late night sushi. She said I'm lit, but she acting bougie. Walking and dancing, I'm asking who's it. Like, who's it? I can't think when I'm moving loose. Can't think when I'm moving loosely.
Got a link in, bro, met her at the ball ring. Should be a 10 if it weren't for the accent. If you're wondering what's the attraction, babe, spin around and show them the acting. Got a link in, bro, met her at the ball ring. Should be a 10 if it weren't for the accent. If you're wondering what's the attraction, babe, spin around and show them the acting. Got a link in, bro, met her at the ball ring. Should be a 10 if it weren't for the accent. If you're wondering what's the attraction, babe, spin round and show them the acting. I'm a simple man, I'm a London boy, drink Henny and mix with cola. Day off, cause I'm not sober, just cool. Roll out, what's the vibe, what's the agenda? Been high since like November. Like my thing's nice and slender, so that we met, I don't quite remember. I don't remember what's the agenda. Been high since like November. Like my thing's nice and slender, so that we met, I don't quite remember. I don't remember. Should be a 10 if it weren't for the accent. If you're wondering what's the attraction, babe, spin round and show them the acting. I'm a simple man, I'm a London boy, drink Henny and mix with cola. Day off, cause I'm not sober, just go roll out, what's the vibe, what's the agenda? Been high since like November. Like my thing's nice and slender, so that we met, I don't quite remember. I don't remember what's the agenda. Been high since like November. Like my thing's nice and slender, so that we met, I don't quite remember. I don't remember.
Down to the bottom. Take this edge off. Grab this. Come off all this extra clay. We ain't trimming these things, so. Go. Cut this off. Dry your hands. Get ready to pull this off. Great. Take it off. Done. Alrighty. This clay seems a little bit less. Also, why is there no music? Hold on one sec, guys. I'll be back in a moment. What do we listen to now? Alright, push, push, push. Oh. That's so sad. Come on. There we go. Add some clay. I think I must have got a little bit of water underneath. That's not good. Rip this right over top. This one's acting a little bit weird. I got some air bubbles in it too. Over to the side here. Smooth out that base. One spot I'll pull the walls up here. Round off this top edge because it's not really a good edge there. Work down to the bottom. Pop this up. Okay, got one more. Down to the bottom. Do we have one more pull out of this? Oh. Alright, there's one less one that we're not going to use. Personally, I think that this one was kind of doomed from the start. It wasn't really attached on that bottom, so it's okay. That's the first, what is it called? Failure out of the ones I've made so far. Is this a rerun? I don't know why do people do a lot of reruns? I just don't understand why somebody asked that yesterday, is this live? It says live, right? Do people just like, you know what I mean? I'm not sure. Like I don't watch enough streams to really know. But no, I'm alive. Push, smooth out that side. Pull this up, push it down. Okay. This right on the top, pull this back. Thumb right on the inside. Get ready. Curl that, pull that out. Okay, smooth. Spiral. A little water on the inside here. Alright, we got one more. Find this little bump. I think that's the top. Not perfectly centered, so you can kind of see it's wobbling as I pull that up, but still trying to maintain a good rim is important. Get all that water right off that surface there. Okay, great. Take this off the bottom edge there. Okay. Get more of that clay off there. Nice. Smooth out this bottom edge. And the wire right underneath. Find some dry area on your pants. Right now we're at the ankles. Get my shirt a little bit. Take this right up. We got two more to go actually. Right down to the bottom. Pull this up. Thumbs right down the middle. Goes out to the side. Spiral. I'm gonna pull this up for the first pull. Right. Okay. Ready on the bottom. Take some clay. Great. Some of this clay right off this bottom edge. Find that bottom just a little bit more because we ain't trimming this thing. Just trying to get as much of that weight off that bottom there. Okay, try your hands. Get all that off your hands there. Pick that up. We got one more, and we're done. Pretty good. We have one mess up, so it's a good ratio. Pushes down. Fish around the top. Outside. Thumb right on this interior here. Okay, great. Thumb. Pull this out to the side here. Spiral. Water. Camera A. Oh, come on. Look at that, see? So I finished all of them. So that's all I had. Here's all the leftover little reclaimy stuff. So I probably could have got... Hey, come on, we don't want you to get on the floor now. You can have one on the floor. But here's all the reclaim. Just gonna smash that. So I feel like that's all the trim stuff. That's like 2 more cups probably, maybe 3. This is 1 bag. So that's what you can get out of 1 bag. All right, well, kind of it for me today. Gonna rinse my hands off in the bucket here. I think that should be enough for all my students. It's like 80 something now cups.